Chris Lee and Blake Lovell of Southeastern 14 presented by Stakes. It's Friday morning. We are giving you some updates on injuries. This is not our original info. This is just us scouring the news to see where the updates are on key players. Blake, let's start in Knoxville. I mean, this has been the talk of the week is who's going to play, because you've got several key guys who are questionable for probably the game of the year in college football so far between Tennessee and Alabama. Let's start with Alabama quarterback Bryce Young. Nick Saban had some things to say about him. Apparently he is practicing. Tell us what you know here.
Well, I mean, look, as we said, I think no one still knows for sure, and that was kind of the basis of Nick Saban's comments. Charlie Potter, who does great work over at Bama Online, put the note out from Saban's radio show on Thursday nights, and Saban's comments were, quote, "I think it comes down to how does he feel, and do we feel that he can throw the ball effectively enough?" And Chris, that's kind of what we talked about, right, all week, is not just a matter of can he play, but how does he play if he does play? And I think that's the question here. And Saban went on to kind of say, he's not going to hurt himself by doing it. I just don't know how much it will hurt him if he does it. He's done it on a limited basis. So that's the question, and nobody's going to know that until Saturday comes. He won't know. I won't know. Nobody will know. I know he wants to play, and I know he thinks he can play, and we'll see. We'll see. So a lot of clarity there, right, Chris? In terms of the update on Bryce Young. So I don't have a gut feeling one way or the other, but would I be surprised if he plays at this point? No. But do I think that in any way, shape, or form he's going to be 100%? No.
I will tell you my gut feeling. This is not based on information. I think Bryce Young's going to play. I mean, I think if it's questionable to this point, I don't see how he does it. Again, that is opinion. That is not based on inside information. Come on, it's their biggest game of the year. If he's practicing, I think Bryce Young's going to play. Now, maybe that doesn't go well, and maybe it becomes evident that's the wrong decision, but I cannot see them rolling someone else out for the first snap if he is practicing. Again, just my opinion.
I guess, yeah. We'll see. Like we said, the thing about this is obviously you never play to lose a game, and there's no saying that Alabama would lose if he does play. But your path to get to where you want to go is still open if you lose this game, and I think that's the key comment there, right? Is he's not going to hurt himself by doing it. And then he, followed up saying, "I just don't know how much it will hurt if he does it." So if you don't risk any additional injury, we're not playing doctor here, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. So,
okay, keeping with the uncertain category, Jalen McCullough, who, according to Pro Football Focus, leads Tennessee's defense in snaps. He is a starting safety. Of course, Alabama's strength it's actually strong in the running game too, but this just in, Alabama can throw the ball pretty well with Bryce Young in the game. Tennessee has had issues with the pass, although I have opined I don't think Tennessee's pass defense is as bad as some of the stats make it look, but Tennessee does not have Jalen McCullough. That could potentially get pretty ugly if Bryce Young is playing. The charges are what they are. It's a pretty serious allegation. I emphasize allegation. We were not there. We do not know all sides of the story yet, but it is a felony charge. Trey Wallace had some interesting thoughts about that in a video we did earlier in the week. But as we do this Friday morning, there's no updates on Jalen McCullough, so we don't know whether he plays or not on Saturday.
Yeah, Heupel had pretty much said it, I guess, in the middle of the week that, look, this is pretty much a university thing at this point in terms of the investigation and everything that goes into that. Obviously, when you have an arrest, charges, those kind of things, that's much bigger than just the head coach deciding if a guy's going to play. So, yeah, as of right now, could there be more that comes out here on Friday as we're recording this? Of course, but as we're recording this on Friday morning, still no update. So,
okay, finally some certainty on Tennessee and Alabama, and this is unfortunate. Cedric Tillman, who is Tennessee's probably best player after Hendon Hooker, I would say, All-American wide receiver. He is not going to play this weekend. He's had, an ankle injury that's kept him out for several weeks. And reports are that he returns October 29th against Kentucky.
Yeah, WBIR reporting that not expected to play against Alabama, continuing to recover from that surgery, and that the most realistic timeline for him is to be back against Kentucky in a couple weeks, which Tennessee plays UT Martin next week. Again, no reason to put him out there for that game, no matter what. So, yeah, so I think he's been out a month now, and seems like the expectation is he will not play against Alabama, but as we've said too, Chris, that's obviously a big playmaker taken out of the equation, but we've also seen this Tennessee offense do some great things even without him on the field. So you'd love to have him, though, no doubt, in a game like this that could be one that gets up there in points. So,
yeah, but best of luck to Cedric Tillman on a speedy recovery. Okay. More certainty in Lexington. Will Levis has had no setbacks. He is likely to play. Kentucky's quarterbacking was pretty much a disaster a week ago against South Carolina without him. Kentucky has still got some protection issues. We have talked about those nonstop, but we saw the line on Kentucky move from what was it, -7.5, maybe even -8 in Mississippi State's favor down to about 4.5. We hypothesized that probably meant Will Levis was going to play, and now here it is.
yeah, from Cat's Paws yesterday. Yeah, I mean, basically, Mark Stoops just said that he's had no setbacks. We talked about kind of the foot injury and the nature of that, especially as a quarterback, and so likely to play. And like you said, I think we fully expected. I think we expected him to play coming into the week. That was kind of our thought, is that he would be back on the field because I mean, as we talked about, Chris, this is a big game. We're talking about all the big game in Knoxville, but like this is a big game for both Kentucky and Mississippi State, and especially for the Cats trying to get back on track here. So seems likely, good to go. Again, what the percentage looks like, we we have no idea, but we know that Kentucky's better with him under center than without him, and I think last week was a great example of that. So going up against a tough Mississippi State defense, but you can bet trying to put the pressure on him and making him work around, making him move a lot, right, Chris? That's going to be a big part of Mississippi State's defensive approach, I would think. So.
Yeah, good to see him back. The league just missed so many really good quarterbacks a week ago. Another of whom was KJ Jefferson, Arkansas's quarterback, who is, I think, one of the better players in the league. He missed Arkansas's loss a week ago. Arkansas certainly missed him. I think this is going to be a score fest, and certainly if you are in one of those games, you want KJ Jefferson, whom, according to Sam Pittman, had a good week of practice.
Yep, back at practice, and another one, like we said, a team that I think is clearly better with KJ Jefferson on the field. And we can talk about the defensive issues all we want, but when he's out there offensively, we know what they're capable of, and especially in a game like this. And I think Sam Pittman's used the word, Chris, physicality. It's going to be a physical game at BYU. Having a guy like that under center that we know can not only pass the ball but can use his body to be able to grind out some rushing yards, which is, the strength of this Arkansas offense. That is a good thing to have in a crucial road game now for a team that's, now lost 3 games in a row. So.
Okay, on to Athens. Georgia is a 38-39 point favorite against Vanderbilt. I don't know if being without Kendall Milton it wouldn't help Georgia, but Georgia's certainly got other guys to run the ball, and frankly, is probably going to throw it more than it runs it, given what Vanderbilt can't defend. But Georgia always deep at running back, but Kendall Milton, who has rushed 46 times for 284 yards, 6.2 a carry, 4 touchdowns. The junior had a groin injury against Auburn. What do we know about his availability for Vanderbilt?
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot on this, honestly. I put this on our list because, again, you're talking about a very talented player. And even if it's not a huge impact on this particular game, given the opponent, an important part of the puzzle there for them. So I think having him back in the equation would be nice, but I haven't really seen an update, Chris. Kirby Smart, I think earlier in the week, said that the hope was that he would be back this week. But again, I think this is another one that just, again, I don't know how much an impact it has on a game if he plays, if he doesn't play, but obviously a very good player, and we'll see if he's out there.
Okay, college football season's underway. The best place to make your sports predictions without risking bankroll is Stakes. Predict anything in the game. Take the game time excitement to the next level when you compete with your friends and other fans on the Stakes app. During the weekly competitions, you can build your prediction track record by winning competition and earning NFT trophies for making the perfect calls. Go to Play with Stakes, that is STAKES.com/14. Sign up. Use the invite code Southeastern14 for a double welcome bonus. Lots of free, fun games at Stakes. They're always free. Free to join, free to place your predictions, make your picks. When you beat us, brag about it, whatever. Just have some fun and join our title sponsor. Okay, Blake. I guess the biggest story is Knoxville. That's still a whole lot of leeway for what could happen there. But between now and tomorrow.
Yep. It's all going to depend on, again, I think looking at Bryce Young and, like you said, even the Jalen McCullough thing is big for Tennessee, given the pass defense and such. So all eyes on that to see if he plays with Bryce Young specifically and what percentage he plays at. If he doesn't, how does that change the complexion of this big game in Knoxville?
Yeah, and again, we had a little more info on those injuries earlier in the week. Trey Wallace of Outkick, who is a good friend of the show, good friend of mine, he is in Knoxville. He is very dialed into the SEC and particularly to Tennessee. He was once on that beat. So he's pretty well sourced. You might want to go back and listen to his comments, especially on the McCullough video. He makes a prediction on whether he will play or not. So check that one out and check us out tomorrow. We will probably do a live stream. Blake, I'm guessing not long after the conclusion of Tennessee, Alabama, and Vandy, Georgia. Lots of big games tomorrow in the SEC. We try to do live streams on Saturday. Last weekend, it just wasn't possible with personal schedules, but we will be back to that, we think. And so looking forward to that. Cannot wait for football in the SEC in Week 7.
Yep, going to be a fun weekend of action, and be sure to hit that subscribe button, like button, all that good stuff. And yeah, should be a lot of fun.
All right, thanks for watching us at Southeastern 14. We'll see you again soon.